the Mulago National Referral Hospital state-of-the-art dialysis and transplant theatre located on Block A, Level 6. Explore with us as we take you through this cutting-edge facility featuring advanced transplant theatres, intensive care unit, high-dependency units, and specialized dialysis units.
Dialysis machines. This is basically the filter. Now this filter, the patient's blood has to pass through this filter for a period of about 2 to 3 hours. And it's being cleaned and returned and cleaned and returned and cleaned and returned. This is what works in the place of the patient's kidney and removes all the impurities. When a patient has got end-stage kidney failure, it means their kidneys are not able to remove the impurities. They must have dialysis twice, preferably 3 times a week. But once you have on end-stage kidney failure, it basically means you need a kidney. So every patient whose kidney has failed completely requires a new kidney. Each machine can potentially run 3 sessions a day. So we can do 75 sessions per day. So in here is the transplant theatre. We specifically put it close to the dialysis unit because they are interrelated. We are going to begin with the kidney. It has been transplanted, fails, then the patient returns on dialysis. So these 2 units really need to be together. In the ICU, they will basically spend about 10 days, 7 to 10 days. The patient will spend 7 days. The donor will spend about a day or 2 because they have not been very sick and they go to the main ward. Once the donor has left, then theoretically you can transplant another patient. Down the road are the theatres. We probably will not get there. But this whole place is cut off. It's got laminar flow air. Laminar flow basically means fresh air comes from up and then it's being sucked from below. So dirty air, which has got, like I'm talking now, what the organisms coming from my mouth don't go up. They fall down and they are sucked away. So fresh air comes up and warm and dirty air passes down. So welcome to the transplant theatre. This is the standard transplant theatre. You must have 2 operating suites adjacent to each other and communicating with each other. There is a door which can be closed, but during transplant it is actually kept open. The donor will be here and the recipient will be there. The donor is here because the donor's surgery ends quickly and he has to leave, or she has to leave, and the recipient remains as they are completing the surgery. But to open the abdomen of the recipient, of the donor, the people who are going to receive should have opened and they agree that it is okay to go ahead with the transplant. Sometimes you plan the surgery, but when you open you find other things. So between the 2, we usually begin with the recipient who is sick anyway. We open, inspect the veins and arteries and say, okay, they are good, so start that side. Now here they start. Once they've exposed the organ, the kidney in this case, and they are ready to cut it away, again they must talk to the people who are there if they are ready to receive the organ. Now without this kind of arrangement, you cannot carry out a successful transplant. You may do some transplant, you may do something, but to have a successful transplant, you need this kind of arrangement. Even when you have got the cadaveric program where you're bringing the brain dead person, again the recipient who is in that hospital. So for instance, if you're going to give the heart to the patient here in Mulago, the recipient must be there, the harvesting is done here. Then the organs which are going to be shipped to other hospitals, the containers are there ready. So when you remove the organ for this, you put, they go. Put, they go. For this one you put, they continue. All this is done to minimize the time, what I call the cold ischemic time. The time between when you close the blood from going into the organ to when you open it after you have anastomosed the recipient. So these whole stories of they have knocked him, they have moved the organ, they are not sustainable because you cannot deliver a viable organ if you are doing kwara. And you must have teams. At the harvest, you must have at least 2 transplant surgeons. Because once you start and one falls sick or something happens, the process must continue. So you must have 2 transplant surgeons, you must have an anesthetist, you must have nurses. You don't have less than 8 people on this team. Similar on the other team, you have not less than 10. So at any one time, you don't have less than 20 people participating in the surgery. So if you're doing illegal something, all those 20 people must be in on the secret, keep it, and if you're doing it again and again and again, it is very hard to keep it tight. In 20 people here, another 10 people on the ward, another 5 people in the transportation. The rate at which Ugandans speak anyhow, you cannot keep them shut. And what kind of money do you have to keep 20 people here kept shut? You tell them, oh, they've given me $2,000. And they say, no, they've given you 200. You know. So, really, it's teamwork. And besides, when you look at the penalties, someone being deregistered, all in the name of what? If you have the skill, why not do it properly? And get, even if you get $100 or $500, why not wait and do the little money slowly by slowly? So this here is mounted with a camera so that if you're operating and you have got students to teach, they don't have to all crowd under this bed screen. So if there is a supervisor who is watching what you're doing or a student who is watching what you're doing, they can only look there. Plus, this shot is transmitted electronically to a room. Actually, that's the whole name of theater. It was like watching a play going on. So it's supposed to be transmitted to another bigger room where theater is not taking place, when surgery is not taking place, and they watch every step of the surgery. So this goes to show you how state-of-the-art our theater is. But as far as infrastructure, you can put a huge tick on that one. While doing operation, you can get a YouTube clip like to help you with the surgery. So this should be the donor theater, and it is on this position so that the donor, when they are done, they can sit and the surgery continues. And at this point, you have the perfusionist, the nephrologist receives the kidney. This is a fully fledged intensive care unit. If when the patient comes from theater having been transplanted, they must remain here for about 7 to 10 days. The reason is not so much for life support, but in case we also need life support, we've got the systems. These are pumps. We have capability of having a ventilator, but mostly it is for isolation. Patients who have been transplanted are immunosuppressed, so they cannot mix with the rest of the population. We need to keep our kidneys healthy. The easiest and quickest way of keeping your kidney healthy is by drinking water. Minimum 2 liters per day. That's the quickest and easiest way of keeping your kidney healthy. The others are exercise, don't self-medicate, medical checkup, early diagnosis of diseases like diabetes and hypertension, and appropriate treatment for those diseases. If you've clocked 40, if you're into 50s, please get regular checkup. But bottom line, drink more water. The more water you drink, the more you flush your kidneys and they remain healthy and well.
We commend the Government of Uganda for its unwavering commitment to quality health care, ensuring Ugandans receive world-class medical attention. Witness the precision and care that goes into every operation, every step, every procedure meticulously monitored for exceptional patient outcomes. The organ and tissue donation is permissible in Uganda. Following the successful maiden kidney transplant, Phase 2 is underway. This breakthrough offers hope for treating non-communicable diseases, saving countless lives. Stay connected with us. Send your questions and inquiry via our WhatsApp number on your screen. Thanks for watching. Join us next week. Keep it Health Garage.